Today I'm gonna share a few hacks to reduce food waste and save money on your grocery bills because we know groceries don't come cheap. I'll show you how to use every last bit of the food and prolong its shelf life. Husband was feeling a little sick, so along with his lunch I packed a bottle of diluted ginger shots to boost his immunity. When we make an omelette in the morning, we usually throw out the eggshells. But let me show you how to use them. Crack an egg in a small dish, separate the yolk from the white. I'll use half an eggshell in my coffee and another half in my face mask. Rinse out the shells with hot water and set them aside. Tip number 1, powder the eggshell to small granules and mix them in egg white. Your morning face mask or scrubber is ready. Tip number 2, to make Swedish coffee, crush the eggshells in your hand and add them to the coffee grounds. Brew the coffee as you normally would. The number of eggs you use depends on the size of your coffee pot. For experimental purpose, I am using half an eggshell in my coffee. Tip number 3, you will often find a small amount of honey adamantly stuck to the inside of the bottle. Pour some warm milk or water inside the bottle, shake it and pour it. You can do the same for peanut butter or Nutella containers. Tip number 4, sometimes we buy aspirational items but never actually use them. One such item is quinoa in my house. No one wants to eat this grain. Grind quinoa into quinoa flour, take half a cup of that, crack an egg, some milk and butter, vanilla extract and maple syrup. Blend them together and pour over your muffin tins. Bake at 400 degree Fahrenheit for 13 to 15 minutes. Tip number 5, when we buy oranges from Costco, we often have too many orange peels to dispose of. You can make candies out of the citrus peels, marmalade, cleaning agents and many more. Today I am making marmalade with orange peels. After thoroughly washing them, I will methodically remove white part from the orange peel.
Very good! You finished! Come back. Do you want orange?
These quinoa muffin cups turned out to be so good. I enjoyed it. I can't say the same for my toddler though. Tip number 6. All these years I have chopped up berries and thrown away the berry tops. But not anymore. I'll show you what I do with it in a minute. As I'm editing this video, I'm thinking of making it for breakfast tomorrow for myself. It has a subtle nutty flavor which I'm liking and goes very well with maple syrup. For marmalade, I'm squeezing out some orange juice and will thinly slice the orange peel. Baby did not eat her muffins, so I gave her a banana. You actually need a weighing machine to correctly measure out the amount of orange to sugar ratio, but I'm roughly winging it here. I combined orange juice, pulp and peels, and it came about 1.5 cups, for which I'll add 1 cup of sugar. Add juice of 1 lemon. As you're cooking, add more sugar if you prefer, but this quantity was perfect for me. Bring the mixture to a boil, reduce heat to low, let it simmer for 20 to 25 minutes until it thickens. In the meantime, I'll clean up Aura's high chair. Tip number 7, use the banana peel to clean your plant leaves. It makes the dull leaves shine again. To check for the doneness of the jam, pour a small spoon on a plate and leave it in the refrigerator for 5 minutes. Once you take it out, it should have a soft gel-like consistency. This will easily last for 3 months. This also makes for personalized gifts on holidays. It's time to test them on a warm toast. Eggshells are alkaline while coffee is acidic. When adding to coffee, the eggshells remove much of the bitterness and mellows out the flavor. Since it is a weird combination for me, I'm unable to get myself to drink it.
The coffee smell is really mild, but I smell eggshell. It's a combination of eggshell and coffee.
Fun fact, this drink is also known as church basement coffee because it was typically served at Swedish churches in the Midwest. Tip number 8. Open the berry box and pick out overripe berries and finish them first if they are still edible. Place a kitchen towel underneath the berries and store it. Berries need air circulation to keep it from ripening faster. Instead of buying new plastic containers, you could use the same berry containers and store them. I'll add the strawberry tops that I have saved earlier to my water to make it flavorful. You could also use peels from citrus fruits, apples, and cucumbers to add a kick to your glass of water. Tip number 9. You know tomatoes are best left on the kitchen countertop, but if they are already ripe and in large quantities, store them in the fridge by covering them with enough gap for air circulation. Leave the stems intact so it stays fresh for a longer period of time. If it is without its stem, cover it with sellotape. Tip number 10. Put dairy products towards the back of the fridge, never in the door or near the door. Tip number 11. Store fruits and vegetables in separate crisper drawers. Tip number 12. Banana release ethylene gas through their stem, which speeds up the ripening process. Same as tomatoes, cover the stem with plastic wrap to prevent the ethylene gas from spreading to the rest of the fruit. Once avocados ripen at room temperature, store them in the fridge. Tip number 13. Keep herbs upright in the fridge with the stem submerged in water and cover the leaves with a plastic bag again. Leave room for enough air circulation. Tip number 14. I thought coffee was best stored in the fridge, but I was wrong. The best way to keep ground coffee or whole beans fresh is to store the coffee on a pantry shelf in an opaque, airtight container. Tip number 15. Open up the coffee bag and keep it in your refrigerator to remove any odor, and this will help keep your fridge smelling fresher. Tip number 16. To regrow celery from the stalks, cut the celery stalks about 1 to 2 inches from the bottom. Place it in a shallow dish of warm water. The cut area should face up. If you wish to prolong the shelf life of celery, store the celery stalk in a container filled with water. Tip number 17. The same way you could regrow your lettuce, mint, coriander, and spring onions. Tip number 18. Understand food labeling. There's a big difference between best before and use by date. Sometimes food is still safe to eat after the best before date, whereas it is the use by date that tells you when it's no longer safe to eat. Tip number 19. I have frozen the ginger that I've used in making ginger shot in the morning. I'll use them in cooking or in tea to get a mild ginger flavor. Use your freezer to store chopped vegetables, fresh berries, coconuts, rotis, cheese, etc. so you can use them for months without wasting. Tip number 20. Beetroot soup from frozen beetroot. How to make them? You will need some beetroot, some ginger, garlic, onion, and homemade vegetable stock. To a pot, pour some olive oil. Saute ginger, garlic, and onion, and add a cup of beetroot. Pour enough stock, add pepper and salt to your preference, let the beetroot cook well. Tip number 21. Sweet potato peel crisps. Scrub off any dirt and wash them well. Using a paring knife, remove the skin of the sweet potato, cutting a bit into the potato, coat it with olive oil and salt and rosemary if you prefer, and bake it at 400°F for 25 to 30 minutes. Tip number 22. Spinach stem fried rice. Remove the leaves and save them for later use. Wash the stem and chop the soft part into small bits. To a pan, pour some oil, garlic, onion, spinach stem, and cook them until tender. Add some peas and salt to taste and cook again. Now add cooked rice and toss well. Add some pepper powder in the end. You could serve this with an egg omelette if you like. This stir fry is perfect for leftovers and a super easy hack to avoid food waste. Tip number 23. Yogurt dip with radish scraps. Heat the oil and sputter the cumin seeds. Now add the finely chopped radish and saute it in medium flame for about 5 to 7 minutes. until they are halfway cooked and lose its raw smell. Then add the chili powder, cumin powder, salt and mix well. And now add cooked radish to the yogurt and give it a good mix. Garnish with cilantro. It pairs well with biryani or pulao or with our fried rice or simply as a dip. Our beetroot soup is cooked well. Strain the beetroot and blend them and mix with the stock. Garnish with yogurt or sour cream and parsley. Our simple leftover meal is ready. Sweet potato crisps are ready as well. Unless you tell them explicitly, your family is not going to know how you made them. What a hack to feed the whole family. Hope you found this video useful. Don't be a stranger. Let's stay connected, okay? Bye.